Good morning, everyone. I'm super excited that I get to be here with Mr. Baird today. He's most well known as a former Spencer County Ag teacher and FFA advisor. So, Mr. Baird, will you tell us a little bit about your operation and how long you've been farming?
Uh, well, uh, we were dairy farmers from time I was a kid to about 14 years ago, and then it just became difficult. We really weren't big enough to keep milking and hiring enough people to keep doing it, so we sold the cows. Now we run beef cattle and I have a few jerseys. Uh, I taught ag at Spencer County full time and part time for 44 years. Started in 1978 and then retired. Actually, retired 4 years ago, but I've been volunteering since. Uh, Now we have beef cattle, uh, raise corn, soybeans, alfalfa, and deer.
Awesome. What's the most rewarding part of farming for you?
Uh, Family. Uh, One thing, my grandchildren, up into this year, we've been showing cattle. But because we had to go to Scotland for a couple of weeks, it kind of messed us up this summer. But probably the most rewarding part is being on the farm, just like we just rode around the farm, and I do that myself usually, and that's probably the highlight of my day, getting to do that. Watching the animals and
Yeah.
stuff, and baby calves. I love baby calves.
So, as we know, June last month we celebrated National Dairy Month, and you actually came home from Scotland, and so you were coaching the Spencer County FFA dairy judging team at the international competition. So, through Mr. Baird's leadership, they have won 11 years at the national level, and so that's been incredible. So, what does it mean to you to coach this team, and why do you think it's so important for youth to have an understanding on the dairy industry?
Well, I mean, I do it because I enjoy it. Uh, this particular team of the 11 that I've had was probably one of the most fun group of kids to work with. Even though wasn't a regular school teacher, uh, the other teachers let me have them. I started working with them last January, second period each day, and uh, just a super bunch of kids. But um, you know, the kids that have been, it takes quite a commitment to be on the dairy team. We've been to 6 states practicing: Pennsylvania, Maryland, uh, Ohio, Indiana, Illinois, Wisconsin. We went to Wisconsin twice, uh, because there's not a lot of cows right here. So, but and we entered a lot of the other state contests. Like Ohio let us enter the state 4-H. Um, Illinois did the same. I've gotten to be friends with the advisors there, and what it is, we'll judge just like any other. It gives us practice, but the it's kind of a labor of love. It's a lot like teaching. Being an ag teacher, you really don't work a day in your life. Uh, when I grew up going through high school, the ag teacher was the most important teacher in the building, and I was fortunate enough my senior year. uh, Boyd Johnson, who was my best friend, they pulled us out of all our classes. The ag teacher got hurt, and they pulled us out of all our classes, including English, which was awesome. And we taught the ag classes for 4 months.
Well,
Uh, the juniors hated us, but other than that, we did parliamentary procedure and you know 5 hours a day, and we were in heaven. We actually won state parliamentary procedure that year too. But you know, uh, I mean that's pretty much why I did it.
awesome. So, what are some challenges that you faced through the industry, and how have you overcome those?
Well, some of them we couldn't. That's the reason we had to sell out. When I first started teaching, there were 167 dairies in 1978. There was 167 dairies in Spencer County. Shelby County had over 400. Now, neither Shelby or us have a single commercial dairy farm. There's a few people that sell milk uh, on herd shares and stuff, but the reason is in order to be it's hard to be efficient without milking a whole lot of cows. Right now, the industry standard to be a dairy farmer, you've got to be able to ship a tractor trailer load of milk a day, because you can't depend on being on a route. Now, this is in Kentucky. You can't depend on being on a route because, uh, if you can't afford to pay for the trucking, and that was kind of and then Dean's was a company that quit taking milk from this area. That shut down 32 dairies in Shelby, Spencer, and Nelson. Um, and it's gotten hard to be big enough. Most of the dairies in Kentucky now are located at South Central Kentucky, um, and they're very, very big. Most of them are, but that's probably the hardest thing on being a dairy farmer.
Yeah, that is definitely hard. Can you share a memorable experience where you saw your work directly benefit your community?
That's an interesting question. I think being on dairy teams has impacted a lot of kids that have been on the team. Um, hopefully, teaching ag for 44 years, that I helped in some way. The ag program now is so much bigger than it was even when I retired. There's 3 full-time ag teachers in the high school. I think almost 400 kids are in FFA. I'm really, really proud of that. They just hired Casey Montgomery, who just awesome. Darylyn Hamilton, uh, Mr. Dunaway. I think 3 of the best teachers, ag teachers in the state of Kentucky, and then just all 3 really, really awesome. And I'm really proud of what they've been able to do. And they they've made it grow. And I know they tried to hire a middle school ag teacher, kind of ran out of time and had to do something a little different. But uh, just like the activities you've been in FFA and FCCLA, the leadership end, uh, you know, I remember kids that when they were freshmen in high school got up to say the creed, uh, and broke down crying, couldn't hardly, just scared to death. And by the time they're a senior, is able to speak in front of 1,500 people with poise. Uh, and I think the leadership end of it, uh, I'm, you know, has helped kids. I'm proud that I've got 3 former students that are doctors, 2 dentists, 6 pharmacists. Uh, they're not farming, but the skills that they and the dedication and work ethic that I think, what they did in FFA plays some small part with that.
For sure. And Mr. Baird probably doesn't want to brag on himself, but he has been a vital role in the Spencer County community for many years. He's made an impact on so many students' lives, and he continues to give back even being retired. And so, obviously, he's made a huge, huge impact on our dairy teams and the students that have been with him. So that's been incredible. But I just wanted to thank you for your time today. We are continuing the legacy that Mr. Baird left on Spencer County FFA, and he really is the man, the myth, and the legend of Kentucky FFA. He won't tell you, but he is. So we are incredibly grateful to have him as a mentor and somebody to look up to for Spencer County FFA. So I wanted to thank you for your time today and being here and letting
Well,
me
thank
interview you.
you.